This thing is on.
Yep. Well, Chris, hopefully this works. We'll see.
Last week, obviously, we had some technical difficulties.
Yes.
We learned a bit, though, I think. I think we're a bit ahead of the game this time around. Am I correct?
We are.
We're doing this from a computer, so it shouldn't be sideways for everybody, which is a great place to start.
It should be the opposite of sideways, actually.
Yeah, well, that was the issue for last week. Either way, welcome back, everybody. For those of you who did not tune in last week,
Yes.
I'm Chris McGlenn, and alongside me I have...
Elijah Newsom.
And if you guys did miss last week's live stream and you guys want to check it out, it is on the Coming Home Newcastle page on SB Nation right now. Elijah just posted that earlier today, so make sure you check that out if you missed last week.
Going
or
forward,
if you want to watch again.
Yeah, if you want to watch us talking again. Back when I had facial hair, Chris, that's new.
Oh, I actually grew facial hair since the last time.
Well, this is what happens when your team's not in the playoffs, Chris. You don't have a playoff beard, and you could just...
No, my team hasn't been in the playoffs of the NFL since 2010, I believe.
Well, my Falcons, we went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. Great game. Great game.
Oh, okay. So, anyway.
We have one viewer. Right,
we do have one viewer.
That's fantastic.
But, yeah. So, what are we talking about? Newcastle. Let's get a... Wait, my name's Elijah, by the way.
I think we already did that, but we'll move on.
Okay, but anyway.
Either way.
Yeah, wait. We should probably... Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying.
So what we want to talk about first, as we said in our little description, we're going to talk about snow, soccer, and salsa. So as for those of you who were not here last week, we both go to school at Syracuse University. Is where we actually are right now. We're in a university building.
Yes, right. The glorious Falk College of Sport and Human Dynamics. That's where we're live from today. We told them last week.
We would be traveling.
We would be traveling.
You never know where we might end up.
Exactly. We're traveling right now. Well, not currently right now. We're just, in general, we have traveled to a different location than we were last week.
Mm-hmm. How's my hair look, by the way? They shut off my water this morning, so I wasn't able to shower.
Well, Chris, that's why you pay your bills.
Well, no, it wasn't because we didn't pay the bill. It's because they were doing maintenance work, and so they shut off our water. They didn't let us know, though.
Maintenance work.
Oh, all right.
Well, anyway.
I pay our bills, I promise.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Yes. I don't worry about that.
Either way, so it's nice and snowy outside here. We got a couple inches last night. It's actually just more like just unpleasantly cold today. It was just wind chill in the negatives.
Whopping high of 11 degrees.
Oh, it was fantastic. Absolutely lovely
It's
weather.
what we signed up for.
Yeah, pretty much. We actually knew this going in. I don't know why the heck you came up here. You're from the South.
Atlanta stand, as we call it.
Atlanta stand? Who calls it that? You. All right.
And rappers.
Okay. Either way, we're going to move now into some soccer, because that's probably what most of you guys, if any of you guys are tuning in.
Don't care about where we are,
or the snow,
or the fact that Chris McGlynn's wearing a Frisbee jersey.
Yeah, well, I didn't get a chance to throw on any Newcastle gear for today.
Well, this was by accident. Anyway,
either way, so some soccer.
A quick table update, Chris.
So we're going to go a quick table update. Newcastle, we're much happier mood this week than we were last week. Obviously, still bummed about not signing anybody in the transfer window. However, we're now back atop the table after we beat Derby last week. It was a 1-0 win, but it was a solid win for us. We looked very good throughout. And Brighton drew with Brentford. I think that was away. I don't really remember that one exactly. But the draw there gives us a chance to leapfrog Brighton. We're now a point clear. Obviously, it's still tight atop the table, but we'd rather be on top than chasing. So I think that we can say that we're happier at least than we were last week.
Yes, and then from the injury side of things, we all know Dwight Gale's been out for the past, I don't even know.
A couple weeks now. He's been out.
A couple weeks. He's back in training. Sources say he could be available next week, but I wouldn't bet anything on that. Also returning to training, not really. Actually, kind of big deal. Christian Atsu.
No, it's a solid ad for us.
He's back in training, so that's another person we could get back soon. So that's the injury side of things.
Well, yeah, I mean, Atsu wasn't really hurt. Atsu's been with the he's been at the African Cup of African Cup of Nations?
African Cup of Nations,
I believe.
With Mbemba.
Yes.
Who, by the way, Mbemba played a little bit of midfielder.
Did he really?
Yeah, I was reading up on that. Played a little bit of midfielder.
I missed that one.
Yeah. I think Nikki wrote that.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, speaking of Nikki, we have
to preview tomorrow.
All right.
Chris,
I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, we don't need to jump ahead, Chris.
My bad.
Jeez.
Either way, so we'll preview a little bit of Saturday.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about our matchup with Wolves. Wolverhampton. We're going on the road to play them. It's a 5:30 kickoff start time for them. It's 12:30 here in the States if you're on the East Coast, and then I don't know if you can do the math if you're anywhere else. I guess it's
if you're Hawaii, it's
like 7:30 in the
yeah,
morning.
would not
9:30 in Seattle, something like
yeah.
that.
If you're a Newcastle fan in Hawaii, there's just never there's never a time for you to ever watch Newcastle when it's convenient. It's like being an Australian fan and watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, that's like 12 hours off. That's like a. Well, I guess that could be worse actually. That's not too bad. It's what like 6 a.m. start time. You just gotta get up early.
Gosh, yeah,
That is early though. Either way, back to Wolverhampton. We played them twice already this year. I believe we lost 2-0 at home playing against them in the championship of this year.
Yeah,
but then we played them actually in our next match, which ended up being an EFL Cup game, and beat them by the same scoreline. We beat them 2-0 to advance through the competition. So, and honestly, we're even on goal differential with them. There's not a whole lot that separates us right now, which is surprising because Wolves sits 18th in the table right now. We were just looking at that.
Yeah, Chris, I mean, you got to look at, I feel like this is a different Newcastle team than they were September 30th.
That's very true.
So we had a pretty huge run since then and definitely look like a better team. But as of recent, you could say not looking outstanding.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we're coming off of a draw against QPR, an awful exit to the FA Cup against Oxford. It was a 3-0 loss there. And the win against Derby, like I said, was very solid. They actually played very well throughout. They worked the keeper. They didn't actually, I think it was pretty much 50-50 on possession, so we didn't dominate from that perspective. But in terms of shots had versus what Derby had, I think Derby had 4 shots of the whole game and only worked Darlow twice.
Yeah.
And if you only work Darlow twice, Darlow's most likely not allowing either of those to go in.
That's true.
So, but yeah, I think going into this, we have a very real possibility of winning. However, like we just talked about, we haven't been in great form. They've struggled a bit, and it's not a guarantee by any means. No game is, no matter what division of soccer you're playing. As we see, Sutton United, the 5th division team, is moving along in the FA Cup, which is always fantastic to see. Always
until some team just crushes their dreams.
I'm pretty sure it's Arsenal they're playing next, so that might be.
Well, they could win.
You never know.
It's a possibility.
It is Arsenal.
It is Arsenal.
And Arsenal, I believe, is just about slotted into 4th place. So that should mean that they'll pretty much stay there the rest of the season.
Yes.
So.
Oh, thanks, John.
Oh, John O'Neill with a nice little comment there. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. By the way, if anybody has any questions, comments, anything like that they want to add throughout, we will probably save some time at the end to answer those. Of course, we have no one watching right now.
No, wait, John O'Neill, I think, was watching, and then he had to comment and then was like, no, I'm done.
All right, well.
I have to go run some errands.
Something like that.
Who knows?
It is maybe he's making dinner. It's a little late for dinner, but hey, 7:30.
I don't know why I looked at my wrist.
Yeah, I have a watch on.
I do not.
I have a Fitbit. But
I have skin. That's about it.
All right, well.
But anyway.
Back to Wolverhampton. They have been very up and down. This has been a team that I am actually... Well, I can't really say I'm surprised they're in 18th. They are pretty much right in the thick of things down there, though. We were just looking at it. If they get a win this week and a couple of results go their way elsewhere, they actually can move themselves all the way from 18th to 13th. Obviously, that doesn't really make much of a difference if you're trying to go for a promotion or anything like that. You're not even really... I think you're not even top top half of the table at that point, but jumping 5 spots is a pretty big move.
It's a big deal. So, so Wolves will definitely come to play, but... realistically, I'm thinking that Newcastle's going to come away with a win for this one. And I don't know if it'll be 3-0 bashing. I'm guessing. I don't think Darlow lets anything in. I'm going to go 2-0. Actually, I'm going to go 2-0.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're looking here. They've actually been in a decent run of form recently. Minus their last matchup, they lost to Burton Albion, which is a rough loss, 2-1. But they beat Barnsley at the end of January, and they actually beat Liverpool 2-1. In the FA Cup, Liverpool just
wait, that does say they beat them.
Yeah, 2-1. Yeah, so
looks like we're losing this one, boys.
I don't know about that. Hey, Liverpool's been in a poor run of form themselves. So
I also think they were also subject to that was Cup. I think they were also one of the teams that were criticized for just awful Cup selection.
Oh yeah, well we can talk about awful Cup selection all you like, but you're gonna look at Rafa's decision to start who we did against Oxford, but.
I feel like we're just hammering on that Rafa.
We really are. That was. I mean, as great as Rafa has been for us all year, that squarely, I think, falls on him, that loss.
I think as Newcastle fans, we just want to find something to complain about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the reality is that, we can't complain enough. We're Newcastle fans.
That's fair.
All the Geordies love to complain, obviously.
We're not even really Geordies. We're American,
we're not. We're American, but we like to pretend every now and then. So, you don't? All right, well.
I don't have a good British accent.
I don't either. Don't even come close.
Not any pretending from me.
No. Either way, so let's start moving on. I think 2-0 is probably a reasonable scoreline for us. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull something back. Our defense has been a little shoddy in the last couple of weeks, so let's go 2-1 on my end.
2-1 on your
2-1.
end. I'm thinking we're gonna have a clean sheet.
I hope so. Darlow's been fantastic. We were actually just talking about that before the show. Darlow's been really good, and that'll actually bring us to our next segment now. We were looking through Nikki Topping, as we mentioned last week. Great writer for us on Coming Home Newcastle.
Brilliant. Just go and read her stuff.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. If you're not reading her stuff right now, you guys need to start, because it's very insightful. Like
better watch out. The Chronicle might snatch her up from us.
Oh, jeez. I mean, now they're pretty sure dedicated her life to Lee Ryder, and I don't think they'll ever move on from him.
If my boy Lee, if you're watching.
Which he's not, because no one's watching.
Hats off to you, Lee. Well, he could be coming to our site to,
I doubt it. Lee, I mean, to be fair, actually, he might be coming to our site to get information. Because Lord knows that Lee Ryder never has his own original.
Whoa, Chris. Stuff. Whoa. Let's not bash Lee. He could be watching, all right?
He's not, though. I know that. Either way, from what I can tell, it never
Next
really...
thing you know, you're going to get an angry tweet from Lee Ryder.
Oh, yeah, that would make my day if Lee Ryder... Lee Ryder, if you're watching this at any point, please feel free to angrily tweet at me. I will fully appreciate that, and I will apologize then if you really are watching.
Right.
However, Nikki actually put up an article earlier today, which both of us thought was fantastic.
Yes.
It was very well written. The idea was actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. Especially in a period where there's not really much to write about.
No.
Midweek, we've got Wolves. The previews are going to come up tomorrow.
Yeah, she's got a preview coming up tomorrow.
So it's a great topic, honestly.
So what Nikki did was she decided to break down who we've got currently on the roster, and she decided to take a look at who she feels is Premier League ready, who's a little maybe on the fence there, a little questionable, and then who really is not fit for the Premier League. We were talking about this. There's a lot of it we agree with, absolutely.
Yeah.
However, there were a couple of things that were maybe a little head-scratching. We were a little questionable on that. And so we talked about this a little bit pre-game show. You want to go through who you said you thought was the most Premier League ready player on our team?
Well, I think for both of us, Jonjo Shelvey.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shelby's the easy choice there.
Yeah.
However,
but if we're going not easy choice,
I think not easy choice. You gotta look at maybe Carl Darlow. I think Darlow has shown the majority of this season that even when the defense is suspect, he can make enough plays to keep us in a game and give us a chance to win. And he we didn't get a chance to see much Premier League competition this year. The only real thing that we got was Wolves. And that was not Wolves. Excuse me, Hull City. Not Wolves. Excuse me, Hull City. Same color. Same color. I know, completely off. I'm
just wow at that game. Like we don't need to talk about.
Yeah, obviously the Hull City match was rough, but that was the only time we really got to see anybody. Obviously, extra time game ended up losing on penalties in the end. But Darlow, I mean, he for the most part this season has been very good in front of goal, and I think he has a real chance to hang on. And really lock down this starting spot for the foreseeable future. The kid's young.
Yeah, he's young.
And I think, he might not be the most Premier League ready player, but I think he's the best piece we have on this squad right now to build for the next 2-3 years around as a Premier League player.
I think another one that we should throw out there is, obviously I'm biased because I'm American, DeAndre Yedlin.
Yedlin's good.
Who's played in the Premier League, played in MLS. Not really saying the MLS is any means for justifying whether or not a person's in the Premier League or not. But what was it, Sunderland he was on loan to?
Yeah, he was on loan at Sunderland for a bit. He never really played a whole lot, but he was at Tottenham.
Yeah, he was at Tottenham.
Obviously, Tottenham's a bigger club than Sunderland is by any means.
But still, he was getting games for both clubs in the Premier League, so he's been there before. It's pretty safe to assume that he's going to continue this level of play, and he's only grown and gotten so much better.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see him. Yes, I know. Ben Weiss is hopping on to say go Newcastle.
Yeah.
Ben Weiss, one of our great editors at Coming Home Newcastle.
Yes.
But I'm still waiting to see him make that real jump defensively. I mean, he's been phenomenal. He can put the ball into the box. He's probably the fastest player on the pitch almost every time he steps out there.
That's true.
And he's just about there. He does a good enough job, I think, most of the time defensively. And really, I think it is that he's quick enough to recover.
Yeah.
And that you can get away with that a lot, especially when you're playing MLS and probably even championship football. I will be hard-pressed to say that I am completely convinced that he is ready for the Premier League.
Okay, that's fair.
But he definitely is a better asset than for us than like Lazar has been so far, or even I thought Jesus Gomez was going to have more of an impact than he has so far, and really he's been largely disappointing. So.
Yeah.
As a signing there. I mean, obviously we got him, I think, on a free from Atletico, but still, you think the guy has Champions League experience, and coming over from a major club like Atletico, you think he'd make a little bit of an impact in the championship. And I know he's actually been hurt, but we haven't even seen him now. I believe he's back healthy and in training, and he still has not really broken his way into any consistent football.
That's fair.
So there was a couple of ones that we took a second look at.
Yeah.
Rob Elliott, that was the one that stood out to me the most. Nikki had him on the list of players that she thought, geez, I'm getting this all mixed up now. We're Premier League ready, and that one shocked me a bit. I'm not a Rob Elliott fan by any means.
Yeah.
I don't. There's nothing against the guy personally. Obviously, I don't know him, but like just as a player, I don't love consistently how he plays. I know that he, every once in a while, gets involved in the Irish national team, but on the whole, I mean, the guy, I believe he's 30 now. If not, he's 29 maybe. I know it's still like relatively young for a keeper.
He's 20 old.
But like the reality is, I don't foresee him getting a significant amount better in the near future, and I'm just not sure that he's somebody I'm going to hang my hat on and say, yep, you know what, I feel confident that if anything ever happened to Darlow, or if some big club comes knocking and say they want Darlow, that I'm going to go, yeah, you know what, I'm comfortable selling Darlow because I've got Rob Elliott. And I don't know about that one.
Yeah, and so, and I think another one I was a little shocked by, and I don't know, it's just, I thought it was kind of funny. So Nikki gives us analysis on why she puts each person in the category, like ready, questionable, not ready. And so you get the not ready were, people you'd expect to be on there.
A lot of the youngsters.
A lot of youngsters who we're going to see on loan.
Armstrong, Sterry, Good.
Andy Obi, and then guys who, haven't performed in the championship well, Matt Sells. Guys like that.
Yeah.
And then, she has Gouffron on there because I think she was mentioning he's probably not going to be here next season. Given he's 30 and, so, and I mean...
He'll probably, if we get promoted, he'll probably move somewhere else in the championship. We'll sell him to somewhere like Ipswich probably, or somewhere along those lines.
Gouffron's a part of the blonde hair movement started by Messi and Pogba's on it.
About that.
Everyone who if you're in form, you're blonde. That's the move. Chris.
He is in form. This season he's been in form. He's going blonde.
What do you think?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Bleach the hair, dye it blonde. I'll be the next great Syracuse Ultimate Frisbee player.
I don't know about that one.
But as I was saying,
right.
The one player she had on the not ready list was Jack Colback, which I understand. Colback is not a player that a lot of people enjoy. But to say he's not Premier League ready, and then not have it an actual reason.
Yeah, not even pay him any mind.
Not pay him any mind was just okay, why? You just put him on there because we don't like him. And it's funny. I mean, Colback never really impresses, but he's still a solid piece, solid rotational player who has Premier League experience.
Yeah, he did. He played for Sunderland for a number of years.
For years, I remember back in FIFA 13 being on his team in my player.
Yeah, no, the guy's solid. Definitely. That was definitely one that I was a little surprised by as well. That was going the other way, though, as obviously someone that we're thinking shouldn't be kept on the team that maybe should be.
But it's just
I personally, I think, would have had him more in that questionable category.
Questionable just because, and maybe he's just not having a good run of form because the Championship League is not just for him. But, I mean, he had some solid games for us when we were in the Premier League, and he even holding the captaincy in some games.
Yeah, true, absolutely. And there's guys that are like that are much better suited for the Premier League versus the Championship. I think
Perez.
Jose Perez is a perfect example of that.
I'd say, too.
Mitro, absolutely.
I mean, granted, Mitro, he could be for a championship. I'm sorry that Dwight Gale is just so good at scoring goals.
Yeah, and now Daryl Murphy of late has been fantastic for us as well.
But speaking of of Gale. That's one that Chris and I frequently talk about as being someone we don't really know if they're really ready, whether they're just a great player in the championship, et cetera, et cetera. That's one.
Yeah, we've never really seen Gale make much of an impact at the Premier League level.
7 goals for Crystal Palace.
And basically, over how many years? Like 2, right? 2?
Yeah.
Or how long was he even at Palace? I don't remember exactly, but he didn't do much with Palace. He was not a consistent goal-scoring threat.
When they were in the championship.
Oh, when they're in the championship.
I mean, no, when they were in Premier League. When they were in Premier League. Wow.
Right, which they still are.
Which
Palace
I mean, saying,
like when he was with them.
when he was, and he's a proven championship league scorer.
Right, exactly. Yeah. He does much better. He is very much suited to the to the championship versus the Premier League.
Yeah. Because it's a different game. Yeah.
That's one that we were a little surprised at as well. That Nicky had listed as a definite going forward as somebody who is Premier League ready. And you know what? Maybe he's 26 years old. Maybe he's finally found his stride. And do you think most of the time these guys truly hit like their stride between I'd say 25 and 28 years old as a striker? You're probably going to be at the top of your game. You're most physically fit. Likely got a lot of the technical stuff down by this point, having played all over the place. And hey, maybe he will. Maybe he will be able to make that jump next year. However, I don't think he's somebody we can 100% rely on. I actually think that going forward, like we talked about, Mitrovic is probably the better option up top. If Rafa continues to play this formation, and this is all, of course, assuming we actually get promoted. I'd be shocked at this point if we don't. However, we're not there yet.
We aren't there yet. It's all the if and when. And it should be interesting also just to see who we bring in this summer. I mean, obviously, we didn't splash the cash over in January. And,
if Mike Ashley does not start spending money this summer,
I think he's pretty consistent in believing that we should spend money in the summer.
That's fair.
He at least lets people spend money in the summer.
That's true.
But it'll be interesting to see who we bring in, because we'll be in the we'll hopefully be in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And we'll have a top tier manager who's going to attract players. So for all we know, we could get a solid striker who's just better than Gale, or a solid midfielder who is better. Now, I don't know. I'm sure Shelby wouldn't lose his spot, but
I don't think Shelby will be the guy that gets bumped. Yeah. I obviously, if we're talking about this the way that Nicky looks at it, we're probably looking at someone who's had to eventually replace Gouffron. I don't know that we end up. Well, we've talked about it potentially buying Atsu.
Yeah, potentially buying Atsu.
Yeah,
if we don't, then that's a need you're gonna have to fill.
The one guy that I think will be very interesting to see actually play in the Premier League is Matt Ritchie.
He's had solid games for Bournemouth, yes.
Right, but the thing is, he didn't play. He didn't get much Premier League football in before he was sold to Newcastle after Bournemouth got promoted, because he was there and he was phenomenal for them in the Championship, just as he's been for us.
Yeah.
He's right now on a fantastic run. I think I was right in last weekend. He's scored, I think, something like 6 goals in his last 5 appearances, which is, outrageous.
Yes.
So he's been on top of his form for sure, and he definitely is an effort guy. But Richie's getting up there. He's not a young guy by any means.
27, 28,
somewhere around there. Yeah, he's well, I don't even know. He might even be older than that.
I think he's 27. I want to say at the beginning of the season, maybe 28 now.
Looking this up right now. Either way, it'll be interesting to see if Matt Ritchie actually can take hold, because we didn't get a chance to see him play much before he's 27. Mm-hmm. He'll be 28 probably by the start of next season. He's September, so we didn't get a chance to see him much with Bournemouth playing the Premier League. He made the move to Newcastle fairly quickly after that, so it's kind of up in the air. I think he's a solid player, but it's not a guarantee by any means.
Another, for me, a player I'm interested to see in the Premier League is someone who's lost their spot, even though he was one of the solid pieces of last year, is Mbemba, who has impressed when he goes international and has played great games internationally, just as Mitrovic has, going internationally and then just doesn't find a spot when he comes back. So it should be interesting, especially since Kieran Clark is one of the questionable players she has. We'll see what Rafa chooses to do with Mbemba, especially since he's shown now in the Africa Cup of Nations or
you're right.
Yeah, okay. That he can play more than just center back. They played him a little bit in the midfield as a CDM. He's got the athleticism. He's got the height. He's got the speed, obviously, to be used around. And so that should be interesting. And then also Isaac Hayden, That's an interesting name that she put out there as questionable as well.
Yeah, it's funny. Isaac Hayden, I believe, went on record earlier this year saying that had he not gotten hurt, he would have been starting at Arsenal this year.
Yep.
Don't know how likely that one actually is, looking at the team that Arsenal's been able to field the most of the year. He might have gotten a couple matches in, but I doubt that he would be consistently starting for a top 5 team in the Prem. So I'm a little hesitant to agree
a little
with
hesitant
on that
there,
one. But
and I mean, FIFA rating still not good.
No,
FIFA rating still not good. So
either way, yeah. So I think if you guys want, I highly recommend checking out the rest of that article.
Yes.
She does a much better job of explaining any of that than what we just did because we just babble for a while.
And of course, leave your feedback in the comments.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Just let us know. We'll all be there commenting as well. Our thoughts.
We actually don't do anything else other than just like sit there and wait for you guys to comment on things.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
not me, and more wait for people to reply to tweets.
That's true. Yeah,
but yeah, also another thing, we put up an article today. Yes, we're looking for more people to join our team. I did say we have cookies. That may or may not be true. Who knows? But yeah, we're looking for contributors like Chris, editors like Ben. So contributors.
I'm offended. I never got a cookie.
Well,
I didn't realize that was part of the recruiting pitch. I completely missed that part.
Well, it just came to me. But we're looking for contributors like Chris, who write articles, and Nikki
as well,
and honestly write about whatever you want. I mean, we are a blog at
it's core. SB Nation is a blog site.
It's a blog site. I mean, it may seem that like a lot of SB Nation blogs are better at reporting news than actual news sources, but in its essence, like SB Nation is a collection of blogs. So if you're interested in Newcastle United and you have a voice, you want to write about certain issues, certain things, want to raise certain debates, by all means, email Brian. The link to email him is in the article that was posted today about it, or Jeremiah, either one of them. And then also editors. So if you're good at editing things,
enjoy reading.
Enjoy also just being a part of our team and bringing suggestions to the table like Ben has done.
Yeah, help us get our content up there faster.
It helps us get content up faster, et cetera, et cetera. And also media specialists. So if you're really great with social media or great with making graphics or videos, I'd love to work with you as well as being one of the...
our guy. He needs some help, though.
Yeah.
He can't do everything.
I can't do everything.
He tries. He's not quite there yet.
Yeah. Now, especially with this busy Frisbee season coming up.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's on me. But either way, thank you again, guys, for tuning in. And definitely take a look at the website. There's going to be some more stuff posted in the next couple of days. We mentioned Nikki's putting a preview up tomorrow for the match with Wolverhampton. So
Is that confirmed, Nikki?
I'm almost positive Nikki said she's putting that one up.
Okay.
She said she'd have a preview done by Friday, so it'll either go up Friday or it'll go up Saturday morning before the match.
Yes.
So keep an eye out for that. I'll probably throw some opinion piece out there. I'm usually good for that. I'm an opinionated person. I usually don't like to. I don't usually hold back on that one.
Frequent debates.
I do actually, and I mean already you've seen tonight that I like to take shots at people like Lee Ryder. So
the big wigs of the industry. Chris attacks them. Stephen A. Smith, if you're watching this, I want you to know I don't agree with anything you say. Skip Bayless, you're the worst TV personality. I can take shots too, Chris, all right?
You can take shots, but those guys, why would they ever be watching us?
Well, you never know, Chris.
Lee Ryder, at least, I think, is a better shot of watching us than either of those two.
Fair.
Although I do agree with you. Stephen A. Smith is an angry man who just yells at the TV, and Skip Bayless, I don't think, understands what sports are.
No.
But that's
Max Kellerman. Oh, gosh.
He's not as bad as people say he is.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I think he's an upgrade over Skip Bayless.
That's fair. But he also says really dumb things like Aaron Rodgers should be the MVP after he gets spanked by the Falcons. All right. Anyway,
we're going to move on. That's a topic for another day.
Yes, because it's no longer about Newcastle.
Yes.
It's now about ESPN personalities.
So either way, when is this one going up? When is this going to the website?
Actually, probably tomorrow.
All right, cool.
I won't have to edit it.
So keep an eye out for it, guys. We don't have to worry about rotating this one.
Yeah, the other one, I edited it so that you don't have to rotate.
Oh, that's great. So there you go. So that's even more incentive to go watch the first one. First one's already up there. Go check that out.
Yeah.
And second one should be up tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys again for joining us. And once again, we'll be looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yes. I don't know if it'll be the same time, same place, but we'll see. It probably won't be the same place.
Probably not. We like to move around.
We'll be on the road soon, Chris.
That's true. A couple weeks we'll be on the road.
We'll be on the road
on location.
From New Jersey. Yep. The great state, the Garden State.
I'm wearing, actually, I'm wrong sleeve here. I'm backwards. Garden State, New Jersey, Trenton.
Yep.
Good old Trenton.